Hey y'all, I'm Kara.
I'm Devanya.
I'm Tony.
Alright.
And this is our shout out video.
So, okay. Oh, damn. Alright. I want to shout out to Jonathan DeVillers. That's my baby.
I'm gonna shout out to Taiwan Speaks.
16, 13.
I'm gonna shout out to my baby Taiwan Speaks.
62113. Shout out to Samazia.
Shout out to Deontay Villeboy. Well, you already know what you is.
Jasmine Campbell. That's my bestie.
Shout out to Jasmine Better. Jasmine Better Than You Mobley. Man, shut up! Hey, that's my baby, and she always talking trash, but I love her.
Marcus DeVillers, Superman.
Shut up. Shout out to Polo Downs.
Yo, let me repeal myself.
Shout out to Polo Downs. That's my little boo thing, but yeah. I am what you want,
Aaliyah Too Cute and Ross, my twin.
Shout out to Devanya Pretty Girl Swag, my little twin right here.
Shout out to Lisa Love, that sexy girl.
Shout out to Kara Gatto, Hayden Frazier, my other twin.
Shout out to Candy Monet Garden. That's my little wifey.
Andrea All-Star Russell. I know you rap, but you is sick, man.
And you like my little cousin.
And you like my cousin Tony. Right there.
Shout out to Amari Sloppy Booty Washington. LOL, but I love you.
Shout out to John Evans. Keep that deodorant.
Shout out to everybody that got a fire.
Shout out to Zaquan Murray. Shout out to Zaquan Murray.
Shout out to Gabby Ruth. You're an inch older than me. Taller than me.
Shout out to Team Galaxy.
Shut up, Tony. Shout out to Taylor Manor. We don't talk like that, but F with me.
Shout out to Marquise. Stay out of trouble.
Shout out to Lola for sure. I am with you. I am with you.
Shout out to Julie Tane. You silly.
Shout out to... Did I say Deontay? Shout out to Deontay Villeboy. Well,
Shout out to my daddy holding it down in prison.
shout out to. If I said your name, Deontay,
I see
I'm
you in 2K17, daddy. Miss you.
If I said your name, Deontay, I'm sorry. But shout out to Taja Style. Wait, that's my little wifey, and we had an upside down, but I F with you.
Shout out to Zariah Richardson, my nigga.
Shout out to Savage Life Kid. That's my little boo thing.
Shout
Yeah,
out.
I don't know you. Fuck with me.
Shout out to Taylor McCoy.
Shout out to Romaine Bentley.
Shout
my little nigga.
Shout out to Kayla Ackerman. That's my little wifey.
out to Shaquilla.
Shout out to Breezy Bree. You been bad in school, but I F with you.
Shout out to Colin.
Shout out to Tajane Jean. That's my mama, and she gonna beat me if I got a boyfriend. But yeah,
Inbox me if you got a Facebook. I don't know you.
Shout out to my wifey.
Shh, wifey who?
Who is your goddamn wifey?
Zario. Zart.
How you gonna say shout out to somebody else but not their name?
I don't know how to pronounce it.
Okay. Shout out to Letitia Melendez. We don't talk like that much. We don't talk like that no more. I'm sorry, I'm messing up right. But I miss you and I love you and I F with you.
Shout out to Angel Harris. You're funny ass.
Shout out to my little signet brother.
Sorry. shout out to Alexis Rage. I miss you and I F with you.
Shout out to Naya Too Fly. Shorty.
Shout out to Rachel Renee. We don't talk like that, but I F with you.
Yeah.
We never
Shout out to that man built Tashana.
Shout out to my twits, Ty Curio. This shit is hot.
Shout out to Jada Ada. That's my main chick.
Shout out to Rihanna. You quiet.
Shout out to Arnisha. You always being bad at school and always getting kicked out of class, but I love you and I F with you.
Shout out to Tarisha.
Don't put them claws in the camera.
Shout out to this girl who always tutu for no reason. Jada
Maxwell.
And I make sure I love you.
You sexy.
Hey Jada, even though I don't know you. But shout out to Brashana, your bad behind.
Shout out to Kyra. I just say you always get in trouble with me, but I love you and I F with you.
Hey Kyra.
You cute.
shout out to who else got shout out to? Tia, what's up, Newton girl? Stop ooh me, you been sickening.
Shout out to all the Polo Boy comments. You my little nigga.
Shout out to Charisma Sims. I miss you and you always beg me for candy, but I love you.
Shout out to Jill Mitchell, my cousin. Love you, boo.
Shout out to Kevin Patterson. Where is my candy, boy?
Angela going to 11.
Shout
No, 10.
Shout out to
Shout out to Jamila Too Sexy Early. I don't know you like that, but F with me.
Shout out to Tawan. You my twin boyfriend, so
I just said his name. Well, okay.
I ain't shout out to him though.
Oh, okay.
You gotta shout out to my baby too.
Shout out to Jonathan Davila. It's my twin birthday. Shout out to Lele Jones. I love you, little girl. You little short self, but I F with you to the fullest.
Shout out to Maya Too Cute. Girl, you got swag. Oh, honey.
Shout out to Young Javale. You already know.
Shout out to Johnny Harris.
Damn, go
Don't
out.
be
You act dumb, boy. Shout out to you.
Don't do him. Shout out to
Wait.
Olivia Burke. We'll
Shout
talk
out
about that,
to
but, yeah.
Prentice Miles.
That's my nigga.
You, why you left that kid party, boy?
Cause he got mad. Cause I go with Jonathan.
Shout out to A.O. Wesley. I don't know you like that, but I used to see you when my brother used to play football.
Shout out to Jasmine. You know she already shout out to her, but shout out to Jasmine Mobley. You fuck with me.
Shout out. Sorry. Shout out to Tiana Wall. She always high. It look like it when you go to school, but so I call you little crackhead.
Shout out to shout out to Zaria Gore.
Shout out to Shayna Bad. I love you, girl. And I miss you.
Shout out to Badass Barbie. You a stranger, I thought.
Shout out to my little skinny mini L Boston L.
Shout out to my haters.
Yep, to these haters.
True that. Shout out to Mosaic. I used to see you when I was at my god sister's house.
Boy, you black as a
Shout out to Daryl Bright. Boy, dang you black boy. Shout out
to Tasman.
Shout out to
Shout out to James Parker Ugly Self. I can't tell you, but you my little nigga, so I F with you.
shout out to what else shout out to? Asia Too Blue. Girl, you at white boy, yeah.
Shout out to Destiny Williams. I love you and I miss you, girl.
Shout out to Malik Quarterly. You always act like you don't see nothing when you get in trouble.
Okay, this my shout out right here for Daryl Grant. You need to quit kicking me with them little nasty old pictures.
Cause it's this little.
About the size of my pinky, and it is very small, sweetheart. Quit.
Talking about your little cousin. Child, don't blame it on him.
Don't blame it on him. That's a shame you gotta blame it on your cousin. But shout out to you and quit being sick, little boy.
And I got a little speech for you little sick people. I was so tired of y'all blowing on my inbox, okay? Please
Take them off
stop
your
blowing out my inbox. Because y'all be getting so sick in there. I'm like, why is y'all
Shout out to E. Savannah. You already know who you is. You're my cousin, Shania. Yeah.
Shout out to Nards, Duck, something Thomas.
You
But
kept getting sick when you first met me. Don't do that. Don't do that.
you're not going to smash me. Please.
Hey, Hakeem, that's
You
stuff.
can't even get in the drawers, little nigga.
Hakeem, you need to quit being freaky, but you're my baby daddy.
Lil Rakini, Shorty Red.
Shout out to Tatiana London Been Bad. That's my little Tatiana girl. She always tell me something at my auntie house, but I love you.
Shout out to Damian Duncan.
Little short self. Shout out to, even though she said Johnny Harris, but that's my little nigga, so shout out to Johnny Harris.
I'm gonna shout out to Alexis Green. You might know me from last year.
I'm gonna shout out to LaKendra Williams. I ain't talked to you in a while, but you need to call me.
I'm gonna shout out to Dory Daniels too. Hey,
I'm gonna
girl.
shout out to this last person, Jaslyn.
And this
Even though
last
we don't
person.
talk like that, quit interrupting me. Even though we don't talk like that, but I F with you. And you used to have me cranking up in class.
Last person I'm gonna shout out to is my daddy. I love y'all. As y'all know, he died, but yeah, shout out to him.
Shout out to my grandma. I love you. Rest in peace, baby.
Smooth shares.